All right, today we are going to work on the transformation called a translation of a figure. And so translation, it looks like a slide, like we're just going to slide the figure across the graph, whether that's a shape or a point or whatever. So it says a translation is an isometry. That just means the original picture, you have the pre-image, and the image where you move it to is going to be a situation where they're congruent to each other. And all the points are going to move the same distance in the same direction. All right, and usually what you can see over here to the side, we have this original triangle AMY, and we are moving it to the A prime, M prime, Y prime, and all the points just slide over same distance in the same direction and would match up and be congruent to each other. So we use a vector to describe these actually, if you remember back to our trig unit. So basically the first number is going to be what you do to the x value, and the second number is what you're going to do to the y value. X moves the graph left or right, and y moves the graph up or down. So this is positive 3, so that would just go right 3. And then the second number affects the y, so that's going to be up or down. So if it's positive 6, we're just going to go up 6. This one right here, if the first value is negative, that first value affects your x, so it's left or right. So this would go left 4 units. The second number, again, affects the y, so that's either going up or down. And so this would go, because it's negative, down 1 unit. All we're doing right underneath here is kind of going backwards. I'm going to give you the description. We're going to write the vector. So 5 units to the right would just be a positive 5. 2 units down, if we're going down, that's a negative direction. So the vector for that transformation or translation would be 5, negative 2. 8 units left is going to be a negative direction, so it'd be negative 8. 9 units up is a positive direction, so that would be a positive 9, and that's all you have to do. Okay, so we are going to graph some points here. Let me just take a second. Let's plot A, B, C, and D on the graph. So we have, let's see, A is at 10, 0. That's all the way over here. I don't know. I just put a prime with that. Just plain A right there. B is at 8, 4. So I'm just plotting B. C is at 1, negative 3. And D is at negative 1, positive 3. And you guys can see this kind of makes, just connect the dots here. And we definitely have a quadrilateral. Now we're going to scooch everything. Negative 2, 5 is the vector. So this is going to go left 2, up 5. So you're just going to do that with each of the points. So I'm just going to go over 1, 2, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be D prime. Same thing with B. I'm going to go left 2, 1, 2, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's going to be B prime. Just repeat this for each one. So A, you're going to go left 2 and then up 5. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, that's kind of close to the B. So there's your A prime. And C, we're going to go left 2, 1, 2, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that one's really close to the D, but that's actually C prime. And then I'll just connect the dots there. I'm not doing a really good job. Probably should get a straight edge. But those two shapes exactly congruent to each other. I'm just taking this red shape and just sliding it and turning it into the shape that I have in blue. All right, let's look at example 3 down here. In the diagram, find the vector that describes each translation. So this one says E to H. So I'm just going to try and grab a highlighter and figure out like what I am doing to go from E to H. So what I would tell you, see what you're doing left or right first, because that's going to do the first number in the vector. So it looks like to get over to H, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over to the right, and then down 2. So then all you have to write for your vector, I went 6 to the right, down 2. So that would be positive 6, negative 2. The second one says F to I. So F to go to I, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left and down 2. So this is going to be negative 6, negative 2, because I went left and I went down. And the last one, let me just grab a different color here. G is up here, and here's I. How do I go from G to I? So I'm going left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I went left 5 and down 7, both of those be in a negative direction. So just start with the letter they give you first. Are you going right or left? And then the second number, are you going up or down? In each of those, we went down on every problem. All right, now I flipped over to the back, so we're going to do another translation here. So my original looks like a triangle, W, X, Y. So we'll take a second and just graph this. So W is at over 4, up 4. X is at over 7, up 4. So all the way to the side of the graph there. And Y is at 7, 2. So this would be W, this would be X, this would be Y. So I'm going to play connect the dots to make this into a triangle here. And then it says we're going to scooch this. Negative 6, negative 3 is the vector. So that means left 6 and then down 3. So just go ahead, each one of the points. I'll just go ahead and start with W. So I'm going to go left 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down 3. 1, 2, 3. So there's my W prime. So X prime, same thing. X is going to go over 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down 2, 1, 2, or sorry, down 3, 1, 2, 3. This is X prime. And then we'll do it one more time with the Y. So I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down 3. And you guys will see these two triangles are congruent to each other. We're just scooching them left 6 and down 3. And I got one more to practice this with. And again, we're going to have to draw the pre-image here because they don't do it for us on the graph. So they're just going to give us some coordinates. This looks like it says it's a trapezoid. So it says A is at negative 4, 5. Here's A. B is at 1, 5. There's B. C is at 1, 0. And D is at negative 2, 0. So here's my original. This is a trapezoid, just means two of the sides are parallel to each other. And then the translation here is 3, negative 4. So that description is going to tell us we're going to go right 3 and then down 4. So for each point, the A will look kind of weird because it's going to be, we're sliding along the line at the top of the trapezoid here, but I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right and down 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's A prime. Same thing with B, right 3, 1, 2, 3, and then down 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's B prime. B, we're just going to go the same thing to the right 3, 1, 2, 3. That's actually point C. And then down 4 will be right at the bottom of the graph. That'll be D prime. C prime over 1, 2, 3, and then down 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your C prime. And then again, the pre-image, so the original, and the image, that's the translation we just did, are congruent to each other. So they're the same shape, same size, congruent. We're just shifting it to a different part of the graph. Now, all we're doing down here at the bottom, I just slid my notes up here. In example 5, they're going to give us a picture. So I'm going to go ahead, the ones that don't have the prime. So this is Q, R, S, P. Here's my original. And same thing down here. Let me just go ahead. Here's the original ABC. That's the original triangle. What am I doing, or what is the vector I'm using to go from the original to its transformation? So we're going to translate this. To be honest with you, you really only have to use one set of points to figure this out because all the points should shift the same distance in the same direction. So just pick any one of the points. I tell you what, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick the point P and P prime and just see what the relationship is between those 2 points. And it should be that same relationship between all of the original points and their image. So looks like P, I'm going up 1. Oops, sorry, we should go left or right first. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left and up 1. The reason I should go left or right first is because that's what's going to go first in your vector. So we went left 4 and up 1. The first number, the x value there, is going to be what you do left or right. And so this was 4 and 1. Since I'm going to the left, we call that -4. I went up 1, so that's called +4. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here. Let's just grab 2 points. I tell you what, let's do C and C prime. So left or right first, see what you're doing. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the right and down 1. So if you go to the right, that's positive. So +6 down 1 would be -1. That vector would describe the transformation. If you want to say, like here, we could say left 4, up 1. If we were writing it out in words, this would be right 6, down 1. And you can check for the other points on here. Like if I looked at B, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then down 1. So I know that that same vector matches up. So I need to write the vector because that's what the question asked for. But the description, whoops, down 1. The description is helpful too, so you can kind of describe for somebody else, how is that moving across the graph?